Where's my apple? Happy Veterans Day, YouTube community. May the stars and stripes wave forever, and let's do this freaking podcast of me. Hey guys, it's me, John Avenger. It's Veterans Day. I'm staying home and watching a nice, good movie from Phase 1. We're going way back to the beginning of Phase 1. There's a couple of films I forgot to do in that phase. This movie, Iron Man 2, and the first Thor movie, but we'll get to those. I still don't own Thor, but I can always watch it on Disney+. This is the very first Avenger. This is the captain. This is the man. This is the guy that you did not need a 2.5-hour movie until like Civil War to get his point across. And that is Chris Evans starring in Captain America and the First Avenger. Well, you could barely see it, but you know, it's the movie. We're going to get started. The movie's about 2 hours and 4 minutes. That's with the end credits. I don't need to see the end credits. It's just the scene from Captain America, from the first Avengers movie. So I can skip that. When the movie's over, I'll just stop it. So I could save some, time. You put this headphones on because I don't want to get a copyright infringement. It's good to do something on my tablet for once and not my phone, not on my DVD player. I really enjoyed this movie. I saw this in the theater back in 2011. In July. I really enjoyed the American patriotism. I love the director, Joe Johnston, because I love The Rocketeer. That's one of my favorite Disney movies. Live action, that's not a remake. I enjoyed Jurassic Park 3. I like the Jumanji. The first one, to me, is the best. And this is a good movie, too. He's a much better director than Rian Johnson. This holiday means a lot to me because, these people that fight for our freedom, we give them props today. This is not about bentos. This is about America. We rock. We're the country that beat them in 1776 to get our independence. And it's because of those veteran soldiers that we're still here, that our country is protected. So thank you for American troops for all you do. We love you. You're the best. You keep this country safe from all people that are against patriotism. So let's do this for the troops. Captain America, the First Avenger. I did Winter Soldier already. I did Civil War with my friends. I'll keep it low because I don't want to, So this is a Paramount movie. So this was before Disney made the deal. They didn't make the deal until the Avengers came out. And this has a great cast, well, mostly, except for Haley Atwell. I'm not a fan. That's all I'm going to say. This is about America. I think they could have cast someone better. You know who would have been better? Mackenzie Davis or anybody else, like even who else could have been Carter? Anybody else? The fact that she's going to be in Mission Impossible is just it baffles me because so late in the franchise and they're putting way more bentos, but it's fine. The score is good too. I think the score is really good. I saw Black Panther 2 last night, and again, really good film, but way too long. This movie is just right. It's long enough. It's not 2.5 hours long. And it looks great, and it's the first Avenger. Yeah, the villain could have been in it more, because Red Skull looks really cool, but he does come back in Infinity War and Endgame, even though it's not the same actor. But people didn't care. It kind of starts like John Carpenter's The Thing, except there's no creatures in this movie. And this is still the best Captain America origin story because I saw the 1990 film and it's laughable. I can laugh at it. I'd still get a kick out of it, even though it's very campy. It's like the 60s Batman. It has a low budget, but it still has a charm to it. Even though it's not MCU quality. It's a good movie. I haven't seen this movie in like 2 years. Last time I saw it was when the pandemic happened. I enjoy it, but like I said, I enjoy it for Chris. It's like when I see Wonder Woman, the 2017 movie, I watch it for Gal, Chris Pine, and the kick-ass ladies that are in it as well. See, that movie wasn't that long. The ending kind of like was iffy, but I just thought that the sequel was way too long though. Sequels don't need to be that long, guys. Multiverse is much longer than the first Doctor Strange, but it was not 2.5 hours. Or Thor Love and Thunder, or Thor Ragnarok, or even Thor Dark World. Hell, Thor Dark World is like 90 minutes. Running time does not matter. If it feels cut, okay, the Justice League theatrical cut and Solo, but you can make movies shorter. You don't need to make every movie 3 hours. We get it already. It's an epic. Hugo Weaving's a good, what's it? Freaking, I forgot what his name was besides Red Skull. Because I don't read German, but anyway, and this movie doesn't have as many subtitles. I'm so glad because there was so many subtitles in Wakanda Forever. I'm like, when is the movie going to stop trying to appeal to the international crowd? We get it. You want to make $1 billion because you haven't yet, Marvel. This whole year, you struggled because your movies were either too gay, throwing gay characters in there, or the movies weren't long enough. This is when they find the shield. There's the shield. USA forever, baby. The symbol of freedom. Norway, March 1942. There's some actors in here I'm not a fan of, but I'm not going to say anything racist because I know Josh is going to be watching. Yeah, this scene is subtitled. Seeing Wakanda Forever later today. Good, classic film collector. I'm not spoiling anything here. This podcast is for Captain America, not Wakanda Forever. But I'm warning you, the movie's very long. You're going to be sitting there looking at your watch saying, yeah, 20 minutes could have been chopped. The backstory of what's his face, of Namor could have been cut. You could have saved that for another film or Disney Plus show. Or read the comics, because we already know where Namor comes from. And in the comics, he's not Mexican. In the comics, he's not an Aquaman knockoff. He's called the Submariner. That's how I remember him. Prince Namor, he's the Submariner. There's the Hydra symbol. Yeah, don't worry, that's just the Hydra symbol. I'm not doing the Nazis. So they're basically Nazis, guys. Hugo Weaving does a good job though, because he nails the accent, and he was a good villain in The Matrix. Loved him in Lord of the Rings, even though he had to speak in Elfish. That's another thing. Just stop with the fake dialects. Game of Thrones, Hobbit, Lord of the Rings, Star Wars. Yes, even Star Wars had some fake languages in the original trilogy. I couldn't care less about the running time. I fly by it. It's long though. There's scenes in the movie that you could have easily cut out. It makes the pacing go a little bit slow, especially in the middle. Plus, you don't see Black Panther until the end of the movie. That's all I'm going to say. Besides, I never look at my phone or check my watch. No, I don't have a phone right now. I'm going to get one for New Year's for 2023. Now, the costumes in that movie, I'm going to see a lot of people dress up like that at Comic-Con next year. I guarantee it. Those costumes in Black Panther 2 were amazing, just like in this movie. The costumes, Marvel does costumes like no other. Like a lot of the costumes look amazing. They look like they came right out of the comics. Didn't like the costumes in Eternals, but hey, that was just me. Here, it's a good movie. I love the way I never go on the phone. There were people with their phones out, and I'm like, hey, I'm just used to it by now. These people they don't know to shut off their damn cell phones when the movie starts. When the trailers start, shut your damn cell phone off. They warn you in the Animal Draft House. If they hear a ringtone, they're going to give you one warning. You do it a second time, they throw you out. Are you going to get the Criterion edition of WALL-E? WALL-E's getting a Criterion? That's a Disney movie. Why would a Disney movie get a Criterion? I thought it was art films that get that. I mean, the Rock has a Criterion, and it's going to be like $50. Yeah, we're only 7 minutes in, and Cap hasn't appeared yet because this is an origin story. In an origin story, you can take all the time you need. But here's the thing: in a sequel, you don't need to do everything at once. I think there's some characters that could have been cut out of Black Panther, Wakanda Forever, just out of curiosity. It's like in this movie, you show Tony's dad, fine. He's not in the film that much. Bucky, that's good. Dum Dum Dugan, he's just there to be there, to fight in like one scene. That blonde girl that's in the movie, she could have been cut entirely. Just because she has serves no purpose. She's just there to have a mini fling with Cap. Tommy Lee Jones is good because he's a Star Spangled Man with a plan. Because like the first Black Panther had a lot of characters, but it was able to balance it out, and it was short. It was only the running time was the same as this 2 hours and 4 minutes. It did not need to be 2.5 hours. Sometimes I feel movies are too long now. Now we have an Avatar movie coming out that's 3 hours. Babylon is 3 hours. Just stop making these movies so freaking long. It's going to get a Criterion release on the 22nd, but it's only available on a 4K and Blu-ray. Yeah, whatever. I don't really need it. Here's Chris Evans. So good. Yeah, that's not really his body, but they did a good job with that. You saw he has a lot of health problems. Is that the? I think that's the butler from Parenthood. I mean, from the Parent Trap remake. Yes, there's a lot of Brits in this movie. Maybe they filmed it there. I don't know. But Joe Johnston is not a Brit. He's American, as me, because I was born in this country. According to the news, the only reason it's getting going one is because Andrew Stanton figured it would be fitting for the collection. Yeah, I guess so. It's a great movie, but I don't really need I don't need a special edition of a movie. I already got every version of Star Wars that I'll ever need. I don't need a Criterion for that. Godzilla, I already got the special edition for that. There's a Criterion. Sometimes the Criterions are too expensive. I have two. I have two. I have for 400 blows and the Royal Tenenbaums, but I got them for like one for free and one for $1. Poor Steve. I could do this all day. Yeah. Yeah, I love that. He's the only one that deserves to say that, not Captain Britain. That was stupid. In Multiverse of Madness, that did not need to be in the. That was some fan service that was just went right up her ass because as soon as she says that, Wanda kills her like a bitch. Yeah, that's how powerful your Captain Britain is compared to Captain America. He would never lose a fight to Wanda. No, because he's so strong. There's Sebastian Stan. He's from Romania, but he learned the language. Picking them up during the 50% off sale, but it's too expensive. He looks just like Mark Hamill. He really does. Like you look at his face, I'm like, he's like Mark Hamill with dark hair. Let's see, we're 11 minutes. At least with this one, I could check the running time. I don't have to. The World Exposition, 1943. It is very Rocketeer, except the only difference is that a Rocketeer. I think there were only two people from the UK in that movie. You had Timothy Dalton was one of them. Hmm. Looks like Universal Studios. And Chris Evans' voice is fantastic, man. Hmm. Awesome looking. I like the era, the 1940s. That was a good era. I like the clothes in that era because, well, the Rocketeer was the 30s, not the 40s. But there it is. There's the car, and there's Tony's dad, played by two different actors, by the way. Do any of the Harry Potter films feel longer than the Lord of the Rings? Yes. Oh my God, Chamber of Secrets felt like it was 3 hours. No offense, Josh. I know your favorite is Prisoner of Azkaban. That's not even the longest one. The longest one is Chamber of Secrets. That movie, by the time we got to the Basilisk, I'm like, please, for the love of God, just end. You're too long. Good God, is that Black Panther 2 is basically like the third Pirates. Not that it's a bad movie. It's a good sequel, but it's too long. You could cut a little bit. I clocked it. It's 2.5 hours. Not every movie needs to be that long. You're not The Dark Knight. You're not Captain America: Civil War. You're not uh, Prisoner of Azkaban or Goblet of Fire, or you're not Lord of the Rings either. Just be shorter. The next Marvel movie, Quantum Mania, please, for the love of God, make it short. I don't need it to be 2.5 hours. Kanger was already introduced in Loki. How come the Marvel shows are short? Oh yeah, because they're shows. If any of the Lord of the Rings were shorter, would they be a better or worse? Short. Hey, they have the theatrical cuts. Those are the short versions because the extended cuts, I saw them in the theater. They're very long. Return of the King is 4 hours. Yeah, I can't do that again. Still a good movie. There's a lot of American flags, even though they probably filmed it in the UK because they did that in Superman 4. There's Stanley Tucci. Yeah, at least here he's likable. Because in Transformers 4, oh my God, his screaming just got on my nerves. He has a big heart. That's why phase 1 to 3 was better than phase 4. We didn't have a Captain America until Falcon and the Winter Soldier, but it was taking the mantle for Cap. Falcon's a good Captain America. He'll be a good one, but he's not Steve. He's going to be a different version. I mean, the theatrical versions were shorter. Hey, it wouldn't upset me. Just take out the scenes with the freaking Elfish language. I don't care about that. I don't want to read in a movie. If I'm going to read something in a movie, I'm going to read an opening crawl, and that's it. I don't want to read subtitles. I'm sick of that. Here, it's one scene, not half the movie. Because in Shang-Chi, there's a lot of subtitles in the beginning. Black Adam, there's a lot of subtitles, and Black Panther too many subtitles. For the love of God, stop! I don't want to read. If I want to read, I'll go read one of the comics or a book or a manual or something. I don't want to read in the theater. That's not my job. I want to see a movie, not read it. That's why screw Babylon and screw Avatar: Way of the Water. I'm not reading subtitles for 3 hours. I'm lazy. I want to watch a movie, not read it. That's why I usually watch an anime or a Japanese movie dubbed. I'll see the Japanese version in good time, but I can watch that at home, not in the theater. Because reading subtitles, I'm like, oh please, I don't want to read. I don't care what color the subtitles are: blue, yellow, red, orange, green, purple. I don't want to read it. I haven't seen Inglourious Bad, but I heard it has a lot of subtitles. I'm not watching it. It's some German propaganda, and I don't give a shit. It's not American. It's not. This is American. We beat them too in World War II. The only war we lost was Nam because the Asians were on top of their game. I'm not a racist. I call it like I see it. A 3 hour movie is too long. If I see blue as the warmest color, I'm watching it in December. I'm not watching any more movies 3 hours this month. Top Gun Maverick is mercifully short. It's only 2 hours and 10 minutes. Sounds long, but there's not 20 minutes of filler and subtitles because the movie's as American as you can get. And I'm going to watch it next week because, this week just flew by. It's already Friday. But anyway, thanks for watching, Classic Film Collector, because enjoy the movie. Just it's long. You're going to be sitting there for a while. You're going to be like, oh, yeah, John was right. There are too many subtitles. I don't want to read. I said it. I don't want to read or hear 14 different languages in an American-made movie by a black man, Ryan Coogler, who's not. They do only do that because Marvel wants to appeal to the international crowd. This movie didn't have to do that. That's why it didn't make $1 billion. This one, it took until Civil War to make it more international because you had Tom Holland and you had, Paul Bettany, and then you had, Chadwick Boseman as an African prince, of Wakanda, when he was alive, And I miss Bozeman. Without him, the sequel is just, I pine for him. I really do. I know I'm going to sound biased for saying this, but the longer I sit in the theater, the happier I feel. Once I'm in the theater, I never want to leave. No, trust me, I wanted to leave because I'm like, it was too long. For ending phase 4 on a high note, it still needed to be shorter because there's like 20 minutes of trailers added to the running time. That's like 3 hours. And my body starts to get numb. This is Toby Jones. He was Dobby in Harry Potter. Not it's just motion capture because I wasn't his face. He had a big pointy nose and big ears. Yeah, and he's Whittle. It is a good movie though. This movie still holds up. It's not till Haley Atwell gets into the movie that I'm like, yeah, I can mute this because her and Cap don't have the chemistry that some people think they do. That's why her show didn't last long. It had 2 seasons and it was gone. It wasn't even on Disney Plus. It was on ABC. Agents of Shield lasted longer, and that was a show that I thought was all right, but not great. Mainly because it wasn't a superhero show. They were just the agents, doing stuff. You are failing. You are failing. Yeah, me neither. Because all the Captain America movies were directed by, this the 2 of them were directed by 2 directors. That's why it worked. The sequels, because this one was 1 director. Which films other than the Clone Wars do you think are too short? Well, the first the Inspector Gadget movie, I hated it, but it was too short. It was like less than 90 minutes. Also, the first Space Jam I thought was too short. It was like 80 minutes long. I thought it was like rushed a little bit. And that's why I like that the sequel was longer, but it was not 2 hours or two and a half. We got the message. And that movie got a lot of shit, but hold on. In 2 weeks, you'll find out. Here we go. This is the 20. Let me lower it. Yeah, this will definitely ease the pain. Now I don't have to hear her voice. Thank you. Thanks for the vibe. I don't even find her attractive, guys. I'm sorry. I know I'm alone, but I don't care about actresses from the UK. 90% of them are just Game of Thrones not knockoff. Yeah, she punches a guy. Wow. I'm so turned on. Not that's why when the sequel, I was very happy in Winter Soldier. She's only in a flashback and she's in one scene with Cap and she's like 90. So Winnie the Pooh 2011 also was way too short. It's like 54 minutes excluding the end credits. Yeah, because Disney did not want to make it like 2 hours. The Christopher Robin was pretty long. I heard it was like almost 2 hours. Tommy Lee Jones is good in the movie. Batman Forever, Men in Black. Yeah, Cap has the heart in this movie. That's why he gets a serum and not you. What if does not count because that's an alternate universe where Black Panther was Star Lord and there was only one Thor. If he was alone, he was alone. Yeah, I didn't care about what if. I hate that cell animation, which is in my opinion ridiculous. Yeah, 54 minutes is too short. I think that's like TV movie, running time. Hmm. That's where he goes anyway. When he does the grenade and he tells everybody to go get away, I'm like, yeah, see, that's self-sacrifice. That's why we love Cap because he is willing to bite the bullet. He's selfless. So good. They know Bintos in the U.S. Army. No, that's against the law. That's un-American. Speaking of how ridiculous do you think is the Winnie the Pooh, the Grinch, and Peter Pan are getting adapted into horror movies? They ran out of ideas, guys. Disney and Universal, they just want to make everything creepy and dark. I'm like, yeah, not everything needs to be not everything needs to be There it is. Not everything needs to be dark and gritty to be good, guys. WandaVision had some darkness to it, but it was mostly funny. It didn't get dark until like the second half when Agatha shows up as a witch. But again, that show should be interesting. I'm not a fan of Aubrey Plaza, but I don't have to be a fan of every Marvel female. They don't all get me. Because Tiana, that's a real woman. That woman is sexy and she looks great pregnant. Iman as Kamala Khan, she's great. And even Ironheart in Black Panther 2, you'll get a kick out of her. She's young, but she's enjoyable. Like Quintessa from Black Adam. Yeah. Because, like I said, I haven't seen Haley Atwell in a movie since Multiverse, and there's a reason she's in the film for like less than 5 minutes. Because Captain Britain just didn't stand a chance against Wanda. Nobody did. I think Brie Larson's Captain Marvel would have had she would have been formidable because she didn't die in Endgame. She's one of the most powerful women in the MCU. Her, Wanda, and several other characters we haven't seen yet. Even the Dark Phoenix, which they'll do right when Marvel finally does it and not Fox. Oh, I love this scene. Yeah, he's willing to take the hit. Yeah, it's a good scene. People were like enthralled by this performance. He's like, no, I'm going to take the fall for you guys. That's what a real hero does. I think it's mad weird, and also at first glance, it looked fake. Also, the horror films are being made by independent studios. Yeah, that they don't have money, like A24. They don't have a $200 million budget. Black Panther 2 cost $250 million. It's going to make that opening weekend. Like its opening weekend is going to be like triple that. People are definitely going to get a kick out of the film. I enjoyed it, but like I said, not every sequel needs to be 2.5 hours. The second Ant-Man movie was under 2 hours. And Quantumania, if it's 2 hours, let it be so. Do not put subtitles in the freaking movie. I don't want to read. Kang does not need to speak some be, please. English is good enough. Or American Sign Language for the deaf. They filmed the movie in Manchester. Car went to Liverpool, London, and Los Angeles. Blue is the warmest colors in LGBT movie. Yes, Josh. I already read it up on it. But the sex scenes are fake. They had to use fake genitalia just to, scissor each other. I know. I saw Booksmart. I'll be fine. It's not like the movie. It's not like the actresses are gay. They're not. Leah Seydoux is a very heterosexual French woman. And Adele, I heard she's also heterosexual. So I'm fine. And yes, the movie's 3 hours. My audio's a little choppy. I'm sorry. I just I think it's fine now. How is it now? Yeah, this is Red Skull's backstory, but it's short. See, it doesn't drag on for 20 minutes. I know it's an LGBT film, Josh. I've already read up on it, but it's not Gay Pride Month. I could see it in December. It's 3 hours also, but to be fair, I can watch it at home, and it's subtitled completely. It's not like they speak English, and then they speak French, then they speak Creole, then they speak Ooga Bluga language, then they speak Yucatan, then they speak Spanish. No, it's none of that. It's only one language, so I can get through it. I'm just not going to watch it this week because it's too long. Yeah, so I'm fine. I'll be fine. The movie's not gonna like make me hate an actress just because they did that. A lot of actresses have played gay. I saw The Kids Are All Right, and that's also an LGBT movie because you have Annette Bening and Julianne Moore as lesbians, and they're not. They love men. They love the penis. So I'm fine. Yeah, 26 minutes in, he becomes Cap around the 30-minute mark. Yeah, Chris Evans has the most expressive eyes. Like you can tell the whole story with his eyes. It's too bad that he didn't work as Buzz Lightyear this year. Only because they had to pander. Now, when they throw an LGBT thing in a kids movie, it bothers me. Kids don't need to care about that. They don't because they want to see their heroes. Okay, it's working now. I switched to my computer and actually came in clear during that part. Know what happened. It was a glitch. It happens. I'm doing this in the basement, so my reception is not great down here compared to upstairs. To the little guys. And this movie has humor, but it's not too much. Like it's subtle because it's a 1940s film. That music is nice. He has a record. They filmed it in Manchester. I knew it because when Cap is running through the streets, it doesn't look like New York to me. I'm like, this looks like freaking Liverpool or something. I'm like, it's fine, Josh. The sequels were not filmed there, so I'm happy about that. Winter Soldier and Civil War, and even the next one, New World Order, I guarantee you will not be filmed in Manchester because all you have so far is Anthony Mackie and Harrison Ford as Thunderbolt Ross. I think he's in that, yeah. And there's going to be a villain. I think it's going to be the U.S. agent from Falcon and the Winter Soldier. No redheaded chick this time. She's dead. So we're free of that bento. And it's called New World Order. So live up to your name. Don't lie to people. Marvel's done this several times now. Black Widow, it's not her movie. Sorry, that's the Eternals. They were externals. I felt like I was taking an eternity to get through that. And also with Black Panther 2, you don't see Black Panther till the end. So I'm telling you this right now. You're not going to see the costume until the 2 hour mark. Because I checked, that's not a spoiler. In the trailer, that feels like it's in the beginning. No, it's at the very end of the film. So you'll be waiting a while. You'll get plenty of action, but you're not going to get her Black Panther until the end. If we paid to see the main character, give us the main character earlier. Black Adam, we have Black Adam. We've got Black Adam. First 20 minutes, he shows up. They wake him up. He comes out with his hood and he kills almost everybody that's around him. They just like incinerates people. That's how you do it. DC did it better this year with their Marvel because they didn't lie to us with the Batman. You see Batman. Do I need to say anything else? The Super Pets movie. The Super Pets appear in the first 10 minutes. You don't have to wait 30 minutes or an hour. Because sometimes I want to just see the character right in front and center. Do not put them in the sidelines. She is so boring, man. But that's all I'm going to say. I'm not going to say anything about her race because I don't care. She did. This is why she was reduced in every Marvel movie after this. Winter Soldier, it's a cameo. Ant-Man, it's a cameo. Civil War, she's already dead. Even when you get to like Endgame, it's a flashback and she's on screen for like 2 minutes. So I'm fine. She just didn't click with audiences the way Cap did, or Black Widow, or Wanda, or anybody else. When characters don't click, they're not going to make an impact. People will still dress up as them, but no one was Agent Carter. They were just Captain Britain. I'm like, yeah, because the costume looks okay. That's it. But I'm not British. I've never been to the UK, and I don't plan on going there. I'd rather go to Scotland than go to England or Wales. Just my opinion, because at least I could get a laugh out of them. At least Karen is a good-looking actress. You know that Nicholas Hoult and Ray Fiennes are in the menu? Yeah, I'm not seeing the menu. It's probably going to be 2.5 hours, too. Is not the only bento in it. No, Anna Taylor-Joy, fine. I have a picture of her. I posted it. I'm going to post it on Facebook later. She's at least nice to look at. She has large, friendly eyes. A lot of these girls don't. They got beady eyes and they look like they want to kill me in my sleep. Sorry, but that's how I feel. Ant-Man 3 and the Marvels will be shorter. It has to. You only have 3 girls. You're not going to have 14 other characters in there. Jude Law's coming back as a villain, and there's going to be some, like explanation, and Kamala's parents will be in it. Going to be long, have some intermission. Yeah, they needed an intermission. I think at Black Panther, after the fight with the fight scene with the water underwater people, they should have stopped there and given me 5 minutes. That would have made it way better. Here we go. I kept the volume low because I'm like, I can see the movie fine. We're 32 minutes into the movie. He gets into the chamber, becomes Cap, he gets those big muscles, and then he has a chase scene with the Nazi. That's a cool scene. Haley just feels like she's in the way in this movie. That's it. It's like she can't even be her own character. It's actually an hour and 45 minutes, not 2.5 hours. What is an hour and 45 minutes, 47 minutes? Not Black Panther. I clocked it. It's 2.5 hours. Um, oh, the menu. Okay. But that still feels a little bit long because they're going to do a lot of talking. I'm sick of talking. I want more action. Hopefully, the Guardians holiday special is only going to be 40 minutes. It'll be funny at least. It's mostly just Mantis and Drax chasing Kevin Bacon. That sounds funny. See, and it's short. It's not 2.5 hours. Also, episodes of National Treasure and the Santa Clauses, it only needs to be 30 or 40 minutes. You don't need to go past an hour. Padding is padding, and I know it. Because the Snyder Cut had a lot of padding in it. Oh my God, I was waiting for it to end. Yeah, because my problem with Christopher Nolan's movies, he always has to cast a Brit in his movies. And I'm like, we get it, Nolan. You're British. We get it, Guy Ritchie. You're British. You don't have to always do that. You don't have to pander to your own people. Ryan Coogler is black, but not everybody in Black Panther 2 is black. Huerta is not. He's Mexican. And Martin Freeman, as much as he was underused, he's white. So you don't have to always pander. I mean, his movie's called Black Panther, so I get it. But Black Adam, his director's not black. He's Spanish. The Rock is not Spanish either. So that movie knew how to do it well. I don't think there's even anybody Spanish in the movie besides Sarah Shahi. She's Arabic and Spanish, but that's about it. And there were less subtitles in Black Adam. It was only a lesser movie because the third act kind of was iffy. There's another event on the menu named Janet McTeer. Never heard of her. I don't care. She's actually much older than the ones you're complaining about. Complain about. I have a reason for it. Classic Film Collector. See my Force Awakens review from 7 years ago. That movie haunted me for years. It's because of that Pinto why I they're all suspicious to me. Yeah, she's not in this movie, thankfully. Joe Johnson's never worked with her, so here it comes. His procedure is 35 minutes into the movie. See? This music is amazing. Da-da-da. And then there was the scene where Haley tries to touch Chris Evans's boob. I'm like, yeah, that wasn't needed. You want man meat. I get it. In the 1990 movie, he could barely walk, but then he could walk in that version. In that review, you said it did nothing for you, and that nine you'd be done with her, even though you never saw episode 8 and 9. I technically saw the episode 8. I heard a commentary over it, but I'm not seeing the movie. I don't want to look at her. I can't do it, guys. I can't. Sure, her face haunted my dreams. Yeah, there's a nod to that guy was in The Hobbit. He's Thorin, the guy with the beard. Mm, no. And we're never seeing Haley Atwell in the MCU again. So get that in your head. We're not going to see Captain Britain again in What If. They're going to do more What If stories completely separated from the first season. So I'm looking forward to Ironheart next year and Secret Invasion. Even though Emilia Clarke's in it, who cares? She's not the main character. She's not going to be in the Marvels. I'm safe. Okay. And yes, Josh, I know there's Brits in Rosalind and in Princess, but they're short. They're only 90 minutes. They're not 2.5 hours. Hell yeah. Muscle bound man. 37 minutes in. See, not 2 hours in. That's awesome. Yep, he dropped something. No, because like I said, but looks like Laura Dern. Laura Dern is much better because that was the thing. That was the thing about The Force Awakens. Like anybody could have played that role. Anybody. That was originally going to go to Elizabeth Olsen, but I'm glad she didn't. She said no because she was doing Wanda, and Wanda is a much more compelling character. She's powerful, but she has vulnerability, and she gets hurt. She's not superhuman. She has a human side that gets hurt. I mean, look at the end of Multiverse. She's like her face is breaking off. If that was the hobo, she would have just like brushed that off, and nothing happens to her. Yep, here comes the chase scene. This chase scene is great. It's the first action scene in the movie too. And Stanley Tucci has to get it. Yep. No blood because it's a PG-13 movie, and Disney did not want a lot of blood. The heart. Here we go. It's on now. You Nazi spy. Yeah, the old lady's packing heat. Yeah, no, I'm not buying that. Because these look like shops in England, like in Harry Potter. They really do. It's just a period piece. Yeah, Brooklyn Antiques. I know what Brooklyn looks like, and this looks nothing like it. Watch. She gets pushed out of the way. Yeah, some hero, huh? This is why this is Cap's movie and not yours. Watch. You shot one guy. Whoop de freaking do. The other guy, no, he gets away. He runs away, and then they push her out of the way. I'm like, yeah, because you're not a superhero. Cap is. And the new Captain America as well. Watch. Watch this. This is fantastic. I love this. My movie, bitch. I love that. That's great. It's like this is my movie, not yours, mine. No, I'm not yelling at you, Josh. I'm yelling at the screen. Would you say this is Joe Johnson's best movie? No, it's not his best movie because I like this movie, but I still prefer Honey, I Shrunk the Kids is a classic, and I love Jumanji and even Jurassic Park 3. I think it's underrated, and I saw that in the theater first. Yeah, this is Cap running in with no shoes on through glass. That's awesome. See, my movie. My movie. This is a man's movie. This is not your movie. I love that. I love how Chris is like, nope, you're not stealing my spot. Hell, even in the first Avengers movie, there's only a flashback with her. That's how much Marvel didn't give a shit about Haley. She's like, you're the cameo girl. That's it. That's all you're getting after this movie. Good. You made the right decision, Kevin Feige. He knew she didn't sell. I mean, they gave her own show and it didn't last long. Because again, America, fuck yeah. Remember which holiday this is. Mm-hmm. I could put the volume back up. Yep. Don't worry, Josh. That wasn't towards you. This is towards me. This is towards the screen. Because Honey, I Shrunk the Kids, I saw it so many times as a kid. That's one of my top 5 favorite movies he's done. This will be like number 4 or 5. And also The Rocketeer. Because Jennifer Connelly, she can move mountains compared to Haley. Seriously. And we're talking about Haley Atwell, not Haley Steinfeld, because her, mwah, I love her. That's right, Cap. Oh, I love that he throws the kid in the water. That was pretty dark, but he doesn't die. I love the people clapped in the theater when they saw this. When he after he throws the kid, he's like, "Are you okay?" And it's pretty ballsy for a PG-13 movie in the phase 1. That's why phase 1 is better than phase 4. See, they threw a kid in water. They would never do that in a Marvel movie now. Watch. It's all right. I can swim. Yeah, I can swim. That's great. I forgot if you saw the 2 Percy Jackson movies. Yeah, I did. Infinity War, the scene with Wanda and Vision, that was emotional. See, because she's like crying while she's destroying the stone in his head. Filmed in Karen's home, I can tell. Oh, you mean yeah, in Scotland. No, but the scene where she's destroying his thing, that's emotional. Steinfeld sells as long as she is the MCU and they don't kill her off. No, they're not going to kill her off. If they did that, they would have done that when she was a little girl in during the first battle of with the Chitauri. Good movie, man. The action is good in this movie. The tone, the look of it, it looks like a period piece. Yeah, gotcha. I don't know what that blue stuff was. Is that a cyanide pill? I think it is. Yeah. It's from, yeah, 42 minutes in. Ooh, just, yeah. Some people foam from the mouth. It looks horrible. It's like there's toothpaste in their mouth. That was a good scene. Yeah, he's like, "Don't worry, I can swim." That's great. Yeah, that the kid didn't die, because that would have been so dark. It wouldn't have fit this movie, because I'm like, this is phase one, not phase four. Because in phase four, someone dies in almost every one of the movies. Every single movie in phase four, Black Widow, somebody dies. Shang-Chi, somebody dies. Eternal, several people die. No Way Home, someone dies. So yeah, it's like, it's ridiculous. It's like you would think that they would tone down on the homicide. Opinion on the casino scene in the Lightning Thief. It's not the Last Jedi. It fit the tone because they're getting tempted to stay there for days, and eat those little flowers, the lotus flowers. Oof, Nazis. And yes, these are Nazis, because in the first Wonder Woman movie is before World War II, so they're pre-Nazis and not really Nazis. Nope. This is remove. That's spam. I don't know why I keep getting spam in my podcasts from some troll. No, you're not gonna fool me. Schmidt is his name. Berlin. I don't get how in that scene they're transported from 2010 to 1971, because that guy playing the pinball table who talks to Percy about the French connection says the year is 1971. Yeah, uh, I get it, because they're going backwards. I get it. Hey, that obliterating gun. Again, this movie's pretty ballsy. That's, I think, the same gun that they use in Spider-Man: Homecoming. I'm not doing No Way Home until either December or in the new year, because I don't want to see another 3-hour movie for a while. I need a break. It's like fist in the air. You were hesitant. There is one nurse that's cute at the end of the movie, and when he's in 2011, when Cap is alive in the future. Miles has plenty of characters to meet in the MCU. New World Order, you have Anthony Mackie, Harrison Ford, and some Israeli girl in there. It's not Gal, though, because she's still with DC. Caitlin needed to. Excuse me. But how the flowers make them go backwards is never explained. Yeah, it was Fox. What do you expect? Or whoever did that movie. It's I never read the book, so I can't really say much. I'm surprised there are Americans in this movie, because with so many bintos that they had to put in the movie either as villains or as side characters. I'm like, yeah, but you have to make Cap American, because if it was like Dan Stevens, I would have been like, hell no, I'm not seeing this, because he's Captain America, United States of America, not South America or Central America, the United States of America, just to be clear, because there's three Americas. Yeah, and there's also the Caribbean, which is like right in the US territories. The UK is on the other side of the world. They don't matter today. That's all I'm going to say. Yeah, the paper. There was no internet until 2011. Nazis in New York. Mystery man saves a child. Yeah, even though the kid didn't swam to safety, Captain jumped in and save him, but he did. He didn't get him killed. At least. Hmm. This and the first Wonder Woman are very similar in tone. It's just this movie's a lot shorter. Oh, I love this is the original costume. This scene, I love this song. Who the Star Spangled Man with a Plan. This is the original costume from the comics. These girls are cute. There's the costume. Yep, the original costume. This movie loves the Captain America so much. You just see the American way. I love that shield too. That's the shield. Or it's right by the thing. Dan dan dan. Who will this for America? For America, who so again the Star Spangled Man with a plan. And no, this is not a political thing, people. This is the old glory right here. It's their holiday. It's this holiday, and I will for and the war we must win. Who's and the Jews from Berlin? Who will it say? It's for America. For America. The Star Spangled Man with a plan. Hell yeah. This one he punches Hitler in the. There's Adolf Hitler, yeah. Yeah. Take that. Or Buffalo, Milwaukee, Philadelphia, Chicago, or the red, white, and blue. I think Caitlyn could be in a great franchise like Sonic. Yeah, and she's American. DC because she's earned it. And after Booksmart, Short Term 12, yeah, she's adorable, Josh. I'm in love with her. When I saw that nose, I had stood no chance. Those are the two. But Captain America. Captain America. Who's that? And who's New York City? The Star Spangled Man with a plan. America, baby. That was great. This movie's so patriotic. I love when a movie is just it's oozing patriotism, like this movie and Miracle and Rocketeer. You know, it's just American pride, man. That's the only pride I have. Italy, November 1943. And Caitlin is American. She was born in I think in California. Forgot. I gotta check. Let me check on my computer. Let me see. Phoenix, Arizona. No, I don't want to see that guy's ass. I'm glad that they didn't show his ass. They can't because it's a PG-13 movie. They didn't do that till Thor: Love and Thunder, and I didn't need to see man ass. Yeah, Caitlin was born in Phoenix, Arizona. So good for her. She's a Western chick. There's the women. Awesome. That's one of the best scenes in the movie. I know some people were not a fan of the Star Spangled Man with a Plan. It's a nice, cheerful American song. Just be glad you live in a free country because some people do not. They ain't free in the UK. Look what happened with the Queen that passed away. That was like the thing that made the news for the entire freaking fall. You can move on. You have other monarchies are there. We don't have a monarchy here. We have a president. We got mayors. We got governors. And we have, other people because the election just happened. But no matter what, this country will always have freedom. That's something that they could never, ever take away. No other country can invade this country and call it their own. No, this country will stand. And I know some of my subscribers are Canadian. I get it, but they live in New York, North America. They're just right above us. They're not from the UK or from Europe. Just they've emigrated from Europe, France. But there's the eagle. Yeah, I know it feels like this is very patriotic, but again, I have an American flag, guys. Not apologizing for it. Love it or leave it. hmm We're about an hour into the movie, so we're doing good time. Yeah, there's no post credit scene for this movie. It's just it's just the trailer for the Avengers, and I don't need to see that. I had chills when I saw that in 2011. I was like, I cannot wait because that movie was everything for me. It gave me my YouTube identity. It changed my life. I was able to talk to people more. Hell yeah, James Barnes, Bucky. Yeah, it's a good movie. I mean, this movie will hold up in the long run, especially with how America is today compared to 2011. Yeah, people were still afraid to wear they were still wearing masks in the theater. I'm like, I remember when I saw this, nobody was wearing a mask. Hell, you couldn't wear a mask in the theater back in 2011. Even a costume, you couldn't wear a mask. I know. Because when I saw The Dark Knight Rises, I was wearing a mask, and they told me, "Sir, take your mask off," because they thought it was, it was an act of terrorism or something because of what happened in Littleton, Colorado. Littleton, Colorado, there was a massive shooting there, and I'm like, but I'm safe. I was safe. I avoid trouble. hmm Whatever it takes, man. Yeah, the low volume definitely heals this because even when I saw the last two Harry Potter movies, I had to lower the volume because too loud. The last two movies are very loud. There's a lot of screaming and monologuing, and I'm like, yeah, with Deathly Hallows Part One and Two, yeah, every word, yeah, not for me. No, you don't do anything in this movie. Yep, he takes one of the girls' helmets. Yep, there we go. We can get back to the plot now. Mm, because she's going to be so useless in Dead Reckoning. They're just trying to put more characters because it's the final two Mission Impossible movies. You have Spider Verse people are going to be wearing their costume for the next year at the Comic Con. Well, they already did for the past three Comic Cons since 2019 because the first movie came out in December, so it was way too late of 2018. So by 2019, I saw Film Noir, Spider Man, Miles. I saw the what else? Spider Ham I have not seen yet, so I want to see if somebody can pull that off. Or the Peter B. Parker, or the female Doc Ock, the Doc Ock's sister, and or also the what was the other one? Penny Parker. I haven't seen yet. A person with the robot. Yeah, I haven't seen that one. It's war, lady. This is why women didn't enlist in the army back in the 40s. Yeah, you notice that none of the soldiers are female because in Dunkirk, there's no women in that movie. It's just Nolan jerking himself off to the war and got a bunch of Irish and British actors. Whoop. I haven't enjoyed a Nolan movie since Interstellar because that was American as it gets. You had an American lead. Yeah, it's way too long, but it's a beautiful looking movie. It's Nolan's most gorgeous looking movie. The scenes in the water and in space, mwah, that is art, baby. It's still one of his best films, in my opinion, other than The Dark Knight, because Oppenheimer is going to be 4 hours long. I guarantee it. There's like 18 people in the cast, and it's too much. We get it. Nolan is a filmmaker. He has beautiful shots, but I have Denis Villeneuve now. It's a nice trade. I'll take a Canadian any day over a Binto, just in my opinion. Because I just think Nolan is just jerking himself off just like he does in every movie. Because Tenet, I'm going to save cinema, and no one went to go see it. And it had an American lead. It wasn't enough. The pandemic was too powerful for you, Nolan. Too powerful. This is where they meet Dum Dum Dugan, played by a horrible actor, Neil Madonna. Yeah, I don't like this actor. I only liked him in one movie, and that was Angels in the Outfield. He was young back then and was not a villain. They typecast him in the DCU as a villain, as Deadshot in one of the animated movies, and as Malcolm Merlin or whatever. Yeah, I just didn't, or whatever his name was. One of the villains in Arrow. I didn't care for him. I think this is safe. I think you can do a war film with a female lead. Look at G.I. Jane. Yeah, but look at that joke where it led to Will Smith slapping Chris Rock. Rebecca, I'm looking forward to seeing her in Dune Part 2. Yeah, her, more Zendaya, more Timothy Chalamet, more, no, Oscar Isaac died in the first movie, and more the rest of the cast from the first movie. Austin and Florence, no, kiss my ass. I'm saying that now so you people get me, because I don't care about them. Leah, we'll see what she can do. And Christopher Walken, like, I am the Emperor. Yeah, because he's a good actor, so he's going to pull it off. Yep, take that. And Bucky disappears for a long time in this movie. I think Sebastian Stan was doing Hot Tub Time Machine. That's why his running time was reduced in this compared to the Winter Soldier. We're almost done. We're about an hour into the movie, so. Yeah, there's no subtitles of this movie. In the beginning, they had one in with when they go into Norway, but it's really short. Joe Johnson knew not to read, that we don't want to read in the theater. He knows that. And his movies are usually not that long, because Honey, I Shrunk the Kids is about 90 minutes. Rocketeer is about 140. This is almost 2 hours, but not really without the end credits. And the other one, what was it? Jurassic Park 3 is the shortest of the films at 84 minutes. The longest one is Dominion, and that was directed by somebody else. And these are POWs, prisoners of war. Yes, this movie needed a little bit more diversity, but again, phase one didn't have as much. Oh, yeah. Captain America. Was he stuttering? Yep, so he's Asian, but he's American. He was raised in America. See, can't judge a book by its cover when it comes to people of color. Denise is going to make Leah look gorgeous. Of course he is, because did you see what he did with Amy Adams in Arrival, or all those gorgeous women in Blade Runner? Oh my God. I was like, where did he find these gorgeous women? Yes, they're all foreign. You have a Canadian, a Cuban, who looks like Miley Cyrus and Mia Kirshner, and a Dutch woman. I think she's Dutch. Yeah. If he did Red Riding Hood 2080, 2058, or a different director, Karen or Elizabeth would look great in front of the Neon City. Yeah. A Neon City. That weapon is awesome. That's awesome. That's great. See, there's not a lot of humor in the movie, but when it's there, it's subtle. It's sprinkled. Hey, John, what's up? What's up, Joshua? How's your day going? I'm doing this Captain America movie because it's Veterans Day. I had to do something for this day. The first Avenger was a great start to the Captain America trilogy. The Winter Soldier Civil War, definitely some of my favorites. Yeah, the Russos, you can tell when the director is a fan of this character and when they're not. You can tell. Favreau, fan of Iron Man. Joe Johnston was a fan of Cap, and the Russos were a fan of Cap. That's why Winter Soldier and Civil War, he gets so much screen time. Joss Whedon, for better or for worse, was a fan of the Avengers. That's why he made the two best films in the MCU. To me, I love Infinity War. I just think the ending is sour. And Endgame. Do I need to say anything about Endgame? You know what that movie did. That movie's still the most emotionally heavy movie because everybody was crying at the end, and it was just so dramatic and so emotional, and I loved every second of it. And yeah, it's just long, but I was so invested. With Black Panther 2, I needed some trimming. You just need to trim the fat sometimes. That shield is awesome. He doesn't get the round shield until the end of the movie. And this is still the best trilogy in the MCU. All three movies were good because with the other ones, Iron Man 3, I'm still iffy on. I don't hate it anymore, but it's still the weakest. Thor Love and Thunder is not even a trilogy, it's a quadrilogy now. Guardians, we haven't got to the third one yet. We'll get to that next year. The Spider-Man movies, the first one's good. I love the sequels more, though. Whatchamacallit? What are the trilogies? Ant-Man, we haven't gotten to the third one yet, so we'll see. Eternals is never getting a trilogy because the first one sucked. Black Widow, no. There's Bucky. See, that's his best friend, not his lover. Such a good actor. Like Sebastian Stan has really, really good screen presence. Because in Falcon and the Winter Soldier, Josh was afraid they were going to make him a villain again. No, he does fine. He still has the metal arm from Infinity War, but it works because it's not out of control. Like in Civil War, I was like, please stop with this freaking chanting. When this guy's reading the book and he's activating him, it's like it's too much. It was too much. It was like he does that throughout most of the film. There's explosions, yeah. Stan can say so much with his eyes. Like in Winter Soldier, when he takes that mask off, he rips off Bucky's mask and he sees his face. He's like, what? People were like gasping in the theater. I already knew who it was because I watched the cartoons, and sometimes the Marvel cartoons can spoil a movie because we already know. How exciting! Oh, this is when he takes that face mask off. Yep, take that. That's for replacing me. That's for freaking replacing you in Matrix 4. So there's nothing you're going to see in the theater in December. No movies in December. January, if I get a free ticket at the Draft House, I'll go see a movie, but not Babylon. It's too long. A Neon City with a bike and her bucket, not bucket, basket, because buckets and a cool costume. There would be a great Red Riding Hood film. Yeah, and you don't need a $200 million budget or a 3 hour running time. This, yeah, it's some CGI they added to his face to make it shiny. That's great. Wow. The makeup looks fine. At least it's makeup. It's not like CGI on the face like She-Hulk. I hope Brie gets a trilogy, and I want someone who's a fan of Miles to direct it. Yeah, that was a fan of the comics and the cartoon. Because I need to live. How does Megan look? Oh, that looks awful. It looks like freaking this stupid dance thing. She's the Enchantress's daughter doing these freaking ticks. No, she looks like a squid. No, too much. I saw that and it like this looks ridiculous. That's a stupid dance. Yeah, I'm gonna skip that too. I got to see something good. Yeah, I think Red Skull does look pretty cool, and for the first appearance, yeah, at least he's in it. We haven't gotten Doctor Doom yet. And also Black Panther 2 one post-credit scene. There's nothing at the end, so you don't have to stay. It just says Black Panther will return. We already know that. It's not a spoiler. When the movie's over, there's nothing to spoil. It says the same thing every Marvel movie says. Doctor Strange will return. The Eternals will return. Yeah, bullshit. You're not returning. Still a great movie, man. It's a good movie. We thought Bucky died at the end of this movie, but no, he lives. I would love to meet Sebastian Stan at a Comic Con. I think he was there this year, but I missed him. Guys can be best friends and be close. Trust me. I had a best friend that was, that was my childhood friend. He's for many years. He still is. If he's out there, that's great. Here we go. Back to the boring. Have you heard of the upcoming Whitney Houston? Yes, I saw the poster for it. I want to dance with somebody, but she's played by a British woman. I think the lady that was in Rise of Skywalker. Skip. I'd rather just watch Whitney, the real Whitney, in a film. I don't want to. I don't want an imposter. Sorry, Elvis. I skipped it too. I'd rather see a real movie with the real Elvis. I don't want an imposter, guys. I've heard good things about Ana de Armas's Marilyn Monroe movie, but the freaking content is super dark and it's way too depressing and it's overly sexual. Let's show her bosoms for no reason except for guys to jerk off on Netflix. I'm like, no, I won't do that. It's overly long. It's 2 hours and 47 minutes. Way too long. I sat through Black Panther 2. I'm not going to sit through another movie that long. I can't do it. I can't do it, especially if I haven't seen it before. I need to see something under 2 hours or about 2 hours and 5 minutes. Like uh, Top Gun Maverick is short. 2 hours and 10 minutes is nothing compared to 2.5. I don't care for when horror movies that should be rated R get rated PG-13. Megan looks fine to me. I think it looks stupid. The stupid dance and the girl's played by I think she's from New Zealand or something. I don't know. He saved all those men. Dun, 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 dun. Yep, he saved all those men. Hell yeah, buddy. We're an hour and 10 minutes in. See, it didn't feel that long. Hugo Weaving is definitely great as Red Skull. Yeah, and I haven't seen V for Vendetta. I'm gonna watch that, but that's not 2.5 hours. I think it's about 2 hours. The Matrix, The Lord of the Rings, Sebastian Stan is great as Bucky. Yeah, it's a good cast. Just Haley is the worst person in the movie because she's doesn't do anything. She stares at him and talks. Wow, that's such a riveting character. You're 50% correct. The actress who plays the doll in that movie is American, but the actress who does the voice is from New Zealand. Oh, okay, but this still looks stupid, guys. I'm twitching. Look at me. I'm Chucky's sister, Megan, and I'm twitching. I'm twitching. I'm the freaking Enchantress's freaking daughter from Suicide Squad. No, that looks stupid. There's Stan Lee. Yeah, rest in peace, man. We miss you. Phase 4 was not the same without you, man. We miss you a lot. You and Bozeman, at least you're in a better place. Yeah. This is when they make the shield, the other shield. Yeah, I'm 50% right, but the voice, yeah, it's weird. You have to have two people play the doll. I'm like, it's just this twitching is just weird. It looks like something I would watch on streaming, not in the theater. Sorry. Scarlet Witch is returning but needs a detoxing. Yeah, I need a detox too. I'm not going to see another Marvel movie until December or January because I need a break. With a nice budget and a decent runtime, Karen's Red Riding Hood with the wolf as a man, that would be a success. That was the most hilarious thing you've done in ages. What this Twitch? That's what she's doing. Yeah, this girl is a Brit too. This blonde girl that doesn't serve a purpose in the movie. She comes 1 hour in and does nothing either. About it says an hour and 15 because the first 2 minutes I was just babbling. This is like the scene in the first Wonder Woman. That movie, is that the guy from, is that what's his name? Derek Luke? I think that's him. Yeah, in a cameo. He was in I um Derek Luke was in a bunch of films in the 2000s and the 2010s. Mainly because Gal's Israeli. That's why it didn't. Yes, the twitching thing. Yeah, it's ridiculous. It's like she's having a spasm. It's dumb. I still need to do Thor, which came out before this movie, and then the Iron Man 2, which I have on Blu-ray, so I could probably do that in December or January or whatever. Ironheart was cool. I loved her costume in the movie. I'm not going to spoil when it happens. It's a great picture. Yeah, they stopped because she wears a red dress. Gal did it better in Red Notice. Did you see her in that red dress? I was speechless, Josh. And her bare feet. Wonder Woman took a lot of inspiration from this movie. Yeah, it did, but it didn't copy it. No, because Gal, that battle scene, the Land's End scene where she's like doing this, and yeah, that's awesome. It's in slow mo also. Plus, Gal's a much better actress than Haley, much better because at least she keeps her accent and she doesn't apologize for it. Plus, that movie was that proved that DC can make a profitable female character driven movie, even though it didn't make as much as Captain Marvel. But hey, nobody's perfect. But that sequel was way too long. Wonder Woman 1984 could have been 2 hours. It didn't need the extra 20 minutes. Have one villain, not two, next time. Freaky and Wrath of Man are getting 4K releases from Shout Factory. Why? Wrath of Man's a bad movie. Put your asshole back in your asshole? That makes no sense. And Freaky, I haven't seen it yet because it's not Halloween anymore. We're 2 weeks away from Thanksgiving. 400 prisoners liberated. Yeah, thanks to Cap. And the red dress is, you never see it again. So I'm like, it's a tease. It's a freaking tease. At least when Gal wore the red dress and Red Notice, it's throughout a big portion of the film. It's not just like for 2 seconds. This woman is nothing. She's just a nothing character, just thrown in there to fill time. We get it. Chris Evans is charming, but you don't have to throw a piece of ass in his face every time. An hour and 16 minutes in. You haven't seen Wrath of Man? No. I saw the review and I'm like, the dialogue sounds horrendous. And who directed that movie? Guy Ritchie, the same guy that did that stupid Gentleman movie a few years ago. That movie was so bad, I walked out of it and I donated 2 of my Bond films because I just couldn't take it. He is the British Zack Snyder because he just does movies I'm not a fan of. I liked one of his films, Man from Uncle. That's it. Man from Uncle was the only movie I liked from him. Why? Because it was fun. It was fun. Henry Cavill was smiling in that movie. It was like constipated face because I was just sick of that. I was sick of it. In Man of Steel, BVS, even in the Snyder Cut, you have to make him so stoic. Because it feels out of place that you have a Bento in this movie, and I'm like, this is 1942, 1943's America. They just put her in the movie because they were filming it in the UK. I'm like, well, you're not doing that for the next Captain America movie, so suck it, UK. Yeah, yeah, they're not going to do that. You're not going to see Dominic Cooper back. You're getting Harrison Ford. I thought the movie was fine, but I might get it for the collection. I like the cover. I like Man from Uncle and the Sherlock Holmes films. I haven't seen those. I like Robert Downey Jr., but I heard that the fight scenes are very kinetic, and I don't trust Guy Ritchie. Once a director screwed me twice, I'm like, yeah, I can't forgive him. Joe Johnson has never done that. There's not one movie he's made that I thought was complete and utter bullshit. Huh. With Guy Ritchie, a lot of his films are not for me. That King Arthur movie he made was horrible. Horrible. That's made of vibranium. Wink, wink. You missed. You missed. Yeah, you missed. Wow. She's so badass. She missed the shield. You see why she's not worthy of the shield? And why Anthony Mackie's Falcon, Sam Wilson is going to be the next Captain America? There's the costume that we love in the Avengers. Oh, yeah, buddy. And I know your letterbox page, you despise rock and roll. I didn't like it. It was long. It was annoying. There's not one woman I like and look at. Not all the performances were terrible. I like Gerard Butler because he's one of the few non-Brits in the movie. But Tom Hardy, he's just there. And Toby Kebbell's annoying. I don't like Tandy Newton. I'm sorry. I thought she was not needed in the movie. And I shouldn't feel that way. I should be welcoming a woman in a movie. But if they're just a distraction, no thanks. That's a really cool shot. It's in the fog, in the snow. It's very foggy. That's great. He hits him with the shield. Yeah. I like buying movies like I like my food, American. Hmm. Mostly. Love that costume. That's the costume he wears at the end of Endgame, and it's fantastic. When he got picked up that hammer, everybody had a nerdgasm in the theater. They were like, "Ooh!" Yeah, that was me. That was me in the theater. I just lost it. You could see my reaction to it on Facebook. It was 15 minutes of just unbelievable, one of the greatest battles in cinematic history. Yep, looking at a map because that's important. Yep, gotcha. That's awesome. Slow mo cat. Dun, 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 dun. That's great. You are failing. You are failing. Yep, that's hilarious. That close up of his face. That's fantastic. Well, it's a shield made of vibranium, which is from Wakanda. They first mentioned Wakanda in Avengers Age of Ultron. There's a great scene, the zip line scene where Bucky falls. Yeah, we thought that was pretty emotional because he thought he lost his best friend, but no, he comes back as a Winter Soldier, and he's like, "Yeah, I went on the cyclone at Coney Island." That is Derek Luke. Yeah, There's just some directors that get on my damn nerves. I don't like Ryan Johnson. I saw Looper and I was like, I will watch Knives Out, but trust me, if it sucks, I'm gonna let Ryan Johnson have it right between the eyes. Because Looper, that was painful, and I haven't seen the Last Jedi. I refuse to look at it. I heard a commentary from one of my friends on Twitter, and they ripped it apart. I'm like, yeah, because it makes no freaking sense. You retcon the last movie, even though I didn't even like the last movie. A sequel is supposed to continue the story, not do your own freaking thing. Not like retcon the first movie and act like the first movie never happened. That's not what a sequel does. This is the train scene. Again, Solo, kiss my ass. This is how you do a train scene well. I can see it. That movie was so dark, I couldn't see anything. The whole movie was in the dark. Also, screw the train scene in Sucker Punch as well, because that's when the movies took a nosedive for me. Under what conditions would you watch Snatch if I'm high on sugar? Lock Shock? No. The movie's so stupid. You know how the movie ends? A guy has a cell phone in his mouth, it rings, and the movie's over. I'm like, that's so stupid. You are failing. His accent is so over the top, but Hugo Weaving makes it work. I think he's from Australia. Yeah, because his daughter is Samara Weaving, who I don't care about because she looks just like Margot Robbie. Why does she look like Margot Robbie? She looks just like her. It's weird. I was like, was that Margot Robbie in Ready or Not? No, it's some Aussie chick that looks just like her. And I'm like, oh my God, how many of these actors look alike? It's like Caitlin Deaver. She has a look alike. Julie Garner. She looks just like her, just with frizzy blonde hair. I muted the last part because I haven't seen Lock Stock. I don't want to get spoiled, but it's a stupid thing. Yeah, I'm like, it's a dumb ending. It's not a riveting ending. Guy Ritchie has a problem with doing an ending right. Watch your back. This is Bucky's so-called death. Take that. It's emotional, man. It's emotional for Cat, man. See, it's emotional. You see him cry, and it's short. See, you don't have to see him cry for 5 minutes. They got him. Samara is Hugo's niece. Okay, so not daughter. Caitlin has Julie Garner and Abby Rain, yeah, for lookalikes. Even Karen has plenty of them, yeah. Jessica, not Jessica Jones. What's her name? Jessica Chastain's hair with what's her face? January Jones. Yeah, she looks just like her. It's crazy. If they did a movie together, they should just play sisters because they look so much alike. And also, Emily Mortimer's face. He's eating a steak dinner. That looks so good too. Mhm. It disagrees with me. Yep, that's great. Yeah, so he has milk. That looks so that looks so good, man. I love eating meat. I'm sorry, but a burger is like nothing else, man. When it comes to meat, and turkey is fantastic. I'm going to eat it in 2 weeks. I'm gonna eat that turkey leg like my life depends on it. I couldn't go vegan. Yeah, I'll lose a lot of weight, but I need the taste of protein. Man, that steak looks so good, and it's real steak. It's not CGI. No, but they do save him. He bleeds in the snow, but they saved him. I don't know how he survived that drop. That was a huge drop. Hmm. He can do it. It's a good scene. It's just between two actors just talking, and he's eating. So eating is something different than looking at a map or trying to kill Cap. I mean, come on. Oh, this is yeah, the Hydra scene again. They're like foot soldiers. Yep, they will stant. It's Stan, but he says stant. I love those costumes. Yeah. Karen, Jessica, and January should play sisters with Sophie Velez as one of their daughters. Yeah, that'd be great. With red hair, because January Jones looked beautiful in Sweetwater. War Hydra takes place. Hail Hydra. Hail Hydra. I love when Cap says that in Endgame. I was on the floor because I'm like, it's fan service for people that saw the first movie and Winter Soldier. Yeah, because he goes into the elevator and it's like Hail Hydra and like what? Because he already knows what's going to happen. Yeah, I know. Neither can Superman apparently, or even the Flash because he can metabolize alcohol real quick because he's got fast cells in his body. No, hopefully the Flash movie is not 2.5 hours. I don't need it to be that long. I can be in the theater as long as it takes, but when it feels long, it's the first Flash movie. Hopefully, when they recast Ezra, because they have to for the safety of humanity, uh, just get somebody else. They'll buy it. There's other Flashes out there, Kid Flash, Wally West. There's plenty of Flashes to put in the next movie. Once this movie comes out, I just want my Flash movie in the theater. Want to wear my costume. I want people to see me, and they're gonna love it because they saw me at Comic Con with my costume and they loved it. A lot of people were a fan. They took a picture with me, and also these two guys said, "I hate you, foul Flash." It was in good fun. They didn't mean it. It was just like trying to be villains because one was Captain Cold and the other was Captain Boomerang. Hmm. Oh yeah, the motorcycle. This is a cool scene. The motorcycle scene. I'm glad I got this movie on Blu-ray because there's no commentary for it for some reason. I guess Joe Johnson didn't do one, but I got to see the movie again after 2 years. There's the Wilhelm scream, and this is a perfect movie for a day like this because the next holiday is what? Uh, I guess it's Thanksgiving. Yeah. hmm So Cap is the first Avenger, and then the second Avenger is actually Captain Marvel because she was there before they did the Avengers Initiative. So, yeah, she was even before Tony. This is before Tony was born. So, because Carol Danvers is also an Avenger as well, and a captain, just a female captain. Love this scene. I love seeing Chris Evans kick ass. That's always going to be thrilling for me. Now, with Haley, yeah, just don't give her too much screen time in Dead Reckoning, and I'll be fine. Because that movie didn't need 14 more. Nicholas Hoult only didn't do it because he was doing another film, Flamethrowers. He's doing some movie called Renfield or something like that. Yeah, I never heard of it, but at least he's not going to be in Dead Reckoning. He was replaced by some Spanish guy as the main villain. This Holt isn't intimidating at all. As the villain, it would have been like the guy from the X-Men movies that he sucked in, First Class and Apocalypse and all that. Yeah, no. Yep, he does. It's like the comics coming to life, man. And they nailed it. The details on Red Skull's face. They didn't make him Italian like in the 1990 movie because they filmed it. Hell yeah, like me. That's right. Kid from Brooklyn. I was not born here, but I was raised here. Casting Ezra Miller as the Flash was a huge mistake. It was. Yes, Josh, what it was because he's crazy. He's a freaking loony bat. He thinks he's a messiah. No, you're not. You're crazy. But I like the Snyder cut of the Justice League. After all that crap he did, they need to recast him. They do. I have two choices: either get Grant Gustin back and forget the CW show even happened, or get Dylan O'Brien. He should have been the Flash from the beginning. He would have almost died in Maze Runner if he had just been cast as the Flash. Because you don't get somebody completely insane. It's like casting Bill Cosby as Nick Fury. That wouldn't have worked either. Because I'm like, Black Widow does a lot more in the second movie than Haley does in this movie. Because she actually is a character. She's not just there for a show. Under what conditions would you watch Stardust? I didn't even finish Stardust. I had the DVD. I found it at a swap meet, and I didn't even finish it because Cavill's in it. Once I saw him, I shut it off. I couldn't even get it because it's too long. It's 2 hours and 10 minutes. That can't use Grant Gustin as a Flash. That would be like bringing back Melissa, and they can't do that. Well, they have another Supergirl, but she's not Kara. She's a different Supergirl from the Injustice uh, timeline. That's why she has short hair and no cape. It's a different Supergirl. It's not the same one. I would say get Dylan O'Brien. Make sure he shaves his beard and just put him as the new Flash. He could be the Wally West Flash. That would work, guys. I'm telling you. There have been plenty of actors that have played the Flash that are better than Ezra Miller, voice wise, especially. Look at the guy that did DC Super Pets or James Arnold Taylor, who I met at Comic-Con. I love this character. I want him to get the treatment that Cap did, Iron Man, Superman, Batman, in the past. To me, Haley, I was like Keira Knightley. Just less of her is better for me. At least Lashana wasn't in Black Panther 2. Kaluuya didn't come back because he was doing Nope. That's fine. Let him work with the director of Get Out, Jordan Peele, because he's Jordan Peele's boy. Dylan O'Brien, I don't know what. Maybe he won't get hurt again. He won't get hurt because Marvel actors usually don't get hurt. DC actors do because Momoa got hurt in Aquaman 2 physically because he was doing a stunt and it went wrong and he got hurt. But he's okay now. He's doing fine now. At least he can stand. Amber isn't going to be so lucky. Amber. I wish I didn't have to wear headphones, but I don't want to get a copyright infringement. That's awesome. Whee! I think for Tracy Lord's movies, I'm not going to use headphones because I'll just put the volume really low so that I don't. That way, I don't have to, wear headphones for 3 hours. Because it's going to hurt me. Because I doubt those movies will get a copyright infringement since no one's even heard of them. Intent to Kill and Ice. Yep, Boost. Yeah, Let Me Kiss You, even though we only had like a couple of scenes together. The chemistry's just not there. Yeah, I'm not going to kiss you either. She'll get recast too, but that's going to be hard for find a choice for Mira. But either Eleanor Tomlinson or Jessica Chastain could do for me. Yeah, just recast her or get her sister to come into the next movie. No one will miss Amber. Trust me. The DCU needs to get rid of the toxicity in their because they don't do phases, so they need to get rid of the people that are just completely nuts. Because when they recast Terrence went from Terrence Howard to Don Cheadle, it worked. Nobody noticed the difference. Nobody. We already gotten used to Don Cheadle as War Machine, so New York, baby. That's a nuke. And that Chris Evans movie with The Rock, I'm looking forward to it. I think it's called Red One. Yeah, it looks interesting because I like The Rock's costume and he had a great year. Super Pets was really good. He did a good voice acting in that, and he was great in Black Adam. His stoic performance actually fit the character. He's like, I'm not a hero. I'm an anti-hero. This is a great scene. This reminds me of the scene in the Avengers when the Hulk is smashing that plane and throws the guy out. That's great. See, this movie gets connected, man. Same scene, except that scene is much funnier and yeah, it's almost done. An hour and 41 minutes. It says an hour and 44. That's only because of the 2 minutes in the beginning, and I could just stop when I get to the end credits. Hmm. Yeah, he had a date and then the movie ends. I'm like, yeah, that's kind of bittersweet. Mira's sister Hera, and even if they do use the sister, she's not human, and I don't know who'd play her. We could it doesn't she doesn't have to be human. The people in Black Panther 2 aren't human either. Most of the underwater creatures are not. They're just humanoids with blue skin like Navis, and they can breathe underwater. The only one who's part human is Namor. That's about it. It's almost 12. Yeah. This killed enough time, but it didn't feel that long. Some of the other Marvel movies I've seen this year or DC movies, yeah, it's a lot shorter. You can be long, but don't be 2.5 hours long. We get the point already, or 3 hours. Because the Batman, you could have cut like the Penguin Lounge. You could have cut that. It should have just been one or two appearances, not five. It felt like they kept going to the same locations again and again and again. I'm like, yeah, you could have cut it. You're not a Tarantino movie. You can be shorter. Matt Reeves, Cloverfield. I saw that and that was short. I was like 80 minutes. It wasn't 2 hours or 3 hours. The thing is, Aquaman needs a love interest with Mira's sister. He needs to be able to kiss her or physically see her. Yeah, but he doesn't kill Red Skull because Red Skull gets put into the multiverse, and you don't see him until they get to that uh, mountain. Because her and Momoa and Amber had no chemistry as a couple. It didn't work because Amber's a bad actress and she's not. I don't find her pretty anymore. I just don't. She's just Diet Scarlett Johansson. She had some promise in Drive Angry, and then she beat up Johnny Depp. So screw her. Ah, yep, that's me. Every time I have to see Amber act, and she hasn't recovered. She won't. Trust me. When she retires, she will. Mm. No, he's not. He's not dead. He went to another portal because these some of these gems can take you to another reality. Uh, yeah, that's the thing. I would have said Madeline Petch, but she's a little bit younger than Amber, but she still would be a better choice than freaking Amber. At least she has naturally red hair, not some ugly wig that looked like she got it from a Hot Topic or Party City. No, we don't have. Mhm. You're not Jennifer Connelly and never will be, Haley. Sorry. Daniela has more promise than Amber. Maybe in Deadpool 3 or somewhere you could see Karen or Caitlin. I don't touch his course, so you're speaking the truth. Yeah. And she has naturally red hair. You don't have to put a wig on her. Yeah. We're gonna wait all the way to Endgame. The very end, the last scene in that movie is that, but there's no talking. It's just the music from Winter Soldier, and then the movie ends. And I'm like, yeah. And you had to give it to the audience. He hated The Gentleman because it's just you know what The Gentleman is? It's Guy Ritchie just throwing a bunch of profanities in there. He uses the word cunt like 4 times in the same scene. That's not funny. Wrath of Man, I just didn't don't care for it. Statham is good, but the dialogue is horrendous. You have what's his name? Post Malone cussing up a storm in the I want the money in the fucking trash bin. I'm like, no, this is too much. It's too crass. I'm gonna be reduced to the MCU. And I'm gonna die twice. Yeah, you die twice. What characters died twice in the MCU? That makes no freaking sense. Well, technically, Vision kind of died twice. Well, but I'm saying like here, she dies twice. She dies in Civil War, and then in Multiverse of Madness, they kill her alternate Captain Britain. So yeah, what a dunce, man. The movie's almost over, guys. She's done. That's the last scene with her. An hour and 48 minutes into the movie. The Gentleman wasn't funny. It's racist. It's sexist. It's not funny. If it was supposed to be a comedy, you failed. Shaun of the Dead came out years ago. Even The World's End was funnier than you. At least that movie was funny because Nick Frost and Simon Pegg are much better actors than you. Nope, Britain. This is about America. We beat you. He gets frozen. I know. I heard about the C word repetition, but I've seen The Gentleman twice. I can't sit through it. I got once I saw Henry Golding, I was out. I was like, goodbye. I'm done. I was like, it was too much. It was just over the top and mean spirited. There's not likable characters in that movie. And even Matthew McConaughey is trying, but he sounds bored. Oh no, this is her last scene, but it's still like the last. She's not in the end credits. Inactive. Wrath of Man only uses that word twice because Wrath of Man is not a comedy. Caitlyn could like you like a honey bud. Like I said, yeah, with a costume like Joy's costume from Stargirl. Yeah, with some cool weapons. I think Madeline could make a great Poison Ivy. Yeah, she would because they pretty much did that with her in Riverdale. Like they made Camila Mendez. I'm like, come on, you were trying to make her Zatanna. The hat and the sexy outfit. Yeah, you were trying to be the DC Zatanna, and I'm like, yeah, Eros. She talks backwards, but that's kind of cute. It's not like you have to read subtitles with her. It's not another language. She just says things backwards. Here we go. You get to see those blue eyes right in front of your face. An hour and 50 minutes in. See, movie's almost over. If this was Winter Soldier, we'd be in the third act right now, or Civil War. The Dodgers. Yeah, now he's in the future, and now we're in New York City. At least we're almost done. We could get to the last two Phase One movies either in December or in the new year. Because Thor, I don't own it, so I will have to watch it on Disney Plus. Hmm. Oh, finally, an American woman. I haven't seen that for almost the entire movie. Ah, your voice is nice and soothing. Julianne Gill, yes, she looks just like Elizabeth Olsen. It's so uncanny. Like they look like they could be sisters, like or clones. This is a redhead, Josh. The redhead at the end of the first Avenger. You should look her up. Who is she? I gotta look her up after this movie's over. Yep, he broke right through the wall. You've been asleep, Cap, for over 70 years. And he doesn't know how. This girl would be a beautiful April O'Neil, I was saying, because we haven't had an April O'Neil with real red hair since Ninja Turtles 3 in live action. There's Manhattan. Hell yeah. No more Manchester here. There it is. Times Square, New York City. Bank of America. Yeah. Samsung. There's a lot of product placement. It's at the end. McDonald's. Nick Fury. Hell yeah. Secret Invasion 2023. I'm seeing it for him and Kobe Smulders, not Amelia Clark. Just to let you know. Planet Hollywood. Yeah. Mm-hmm. This feels like a post credit scene, but it's not. It's the last scene. Eclipse. Yeah, I know that thing. Forever 21. Yeah. Corona. Yeah, I'm not going to say that word again next year. Yeah, but I had a date, and people were like, "Ah." An hour and 53 minutes in. See, under 2 hours, guys. Happy Veterans Day, guys. Joe Johnson did a great job. I'll leave this because it's just some music. And the same writers of all three Captain America movies, Christopher Marcus and McFeely. Da-da-da. Kevin Feige, yeah, because he does everything, yeah. Dan, da-da-dan, dan, dan. Dan, da-da-dan, dan, dan, dan. Dan, 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 dan. See, I didn't say anything racist. I just, was going with the flow. And we don't have to see Haley ever again in the MCU. I guarantee it. Captain Britain is in the past. We can move to the future of Captain Marvel's next movie in 2023. So, yes. Alan Silvestri did the music. Yep. The same guy that would do the Avengers. Well, we finished it, so. Whew. I could take this hat off for now. Tommy Lee Jones, yep. Hugo Weaving. Oh, my neck. It hurts a little bit. Let me just put some cream on it. Oh. And Bentos didn't take over the movies ever again because Toby Jones was only a voice in Captain America: Winter Soldier, and we didn't get Haley back. Was in it? She was in it. Richard Armitage went to do The Hobbit, and what was his face? And Haley was only a cameo in the second movie, and she was dead by the third movie. So Marvel Studios, I know who made this. There's only one Captain America. Catherine Press is that redhead. Yeah, she's beautiful, Josh. Oh my God, where has she been? Why hasn't she been in a big Marvel movie after this, or DC or something, or like Ninja Turtles? She'd be a perfect April O'Neil. And that was Captain America: The First Avenger. We can stop it here. There's no post-credit scene. Yeah, there's just the Star Spangled Man with a plan. So thanks for watching, everybody. I'm glad that I got to do this. It was fun. It's still a good movie, and there's a reason why this movie still holds up. Even 11 years later, it's as American and patriotic as all the soldiers that fight for us. So thank you, soldiers, for all you do. The ones that were fighting back in the day, and the ones that are fighting for for our freedom to this day. Thank you for your service. We support you. We love you. Get home soon. Thanks for watching, guys. Have a safe Veterans Day, and I'll see you guys in the next podcast. Will be tomorrow, but it's a double bill, so bear with me. The chat will be alive and well tomorrow. So. Thanks for watching. See ya. End.